G'day and welcome to Home Cooking Down Under. In today's episode, we're going back to basics. A very simple artisan bread recipe that is really easy to make. So, let's begin. Some plain flour, some cooking salt, white sugar, and of course, some instant dried yeast. And apart from the main ingredients, this is what else you're going to need. A mixing bowl with a lid, a measuring cup, some non-stick baking paper, and lastly, you're going to need some sort of casserole dish, something that will go in the oven with a lid. In your mixing bowl, 3 cups of the plain flour. 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't matter if it's not exact, it'll be fine. There you go. At this stage, you need to add 1 tablespoon of yeast to your flour. Just like that. And then 1 teaspoon of salt and just a little pinch of sugar, probably about a half a teaspoon, just like that. Now, if you just want standard bread, you leave it like that, but I'm actually going to add 3 more ingredients just to give it a little bit more flavor. So like I said, if you want to keep your bread standard, you leave it as is, but I'm going to add some chopped rosemary, some garlic powder, and a splash of olive oil. So now I'm going to add my tablespoon of chopped rosemary, about a tablespoon and a half of your garlic powder, and a splash of olive oil. Just like that. And your final ingredient, obviously, is your warm water. Now, water has to be on the very warm side. So enough to put your finger in for a few seconds and then that's it. So that's where you need to be at. Rule of thumb is every cup of flour that you put in, it's half a cup of water. So I'm going to put in about 1.5 cups. Just like that. And now we start stirring. Okay, I've been mixing it for about a minute or so, and that's the sort of consistency you need. Now, if you think it's a bit too dry, add a little bit more water. If you feel it's too wet, you can add a little bit more flour, but that's what you need to see right there. Final thing to do now is let the yeast do its thing, put a cover over it, and put it aside for about 2 to 3 hours. Now, the good thing about this recipe is that there's no need to knead the bread.
Haha, that's a funny dad joke, Papa.
Smarty pants. Anyway, so put it aside and I'll show you how to cook it in a few hours. Okay, it's been about 2 hours now and let's see how it's come up. Oh, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? It's rised perfectly. Now we're ready to bake. Once the dough has risen, you don't have to bake on the same day. You can put it in the fridge for up to 3 days. Also, if you don't like garlic powder or rosemary, use other herbs and spices. Use olives. Use onion powder. That's up to you, whatever floats your boat. Experiment with different combinations to your taste. Now at this stage, you need to preheat your oven at about 230 degrees for about 3 to 5 minutes. Also, most importantly, you need to preheat your casserole dish. So this will go in right now as well. And now we're ready to shape our bread. So on a clean surface, put down a bit of flour. Let's get our beautiful dough out of our mixing bowl. Just like that. Look at that. That looks fantastic. Just like that. And the good thing about this now is that you can shape it the way you want. Put a bit of flour on top. And like I said, there's no need to knead this bread. So all you have to do, a bit of flour. And there you go, you're ready to go. And now you're ready for the baking process. So now all I've done was I put the bread dough onto the baking paper. I'm going to take out my casserole dish. I'm going to put it inside the dish with the lid on, put it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then I'll show you what to do at the end. Now in your preheated casserole dish, bread just goes in just like that. Careful, it is going to be very hot. Put on the lid, 30 minutes later, and let's see how it's come out. Oh, we look at that. That smell of freshly baked bread is absolutely outstanding. There's a slight garlicky rosemary smell as well. Fantastic. Now, what you have to do is we need to put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes with the lid off to give you that beautiful artisan look. So let's do that right now. And 40 minutes later, this is your end result. Beautiful, no knead artisan bread. Now, the most important thing of all, the taste. You want to have a bit?
Yes, please.
Okay, no worries, mate. Now, the taste.
Let's eat.
It is fantastic.
No.
There's a slight sponginess to it. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic. Again, thank you for watching Home Cooking Down Under. See you next time.
Bye-bye. This bread tastes amazing, and just listen to this. By the way, did you like today's recipe? Well, if you did, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on post notifications to know when a new video has been uploaded. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Home Cooking Down Under.